Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an announcement video. I am Sylphin, and today we are taking a look at the patch release notes for version 2.9. It's coming out this week, very soon, probably tomorrow, I believe. They've done it on Tuesdays. I didn't notice my game updating today, so we will certainly have to see when that comes out. So, basically, it's a pretty big patch regarding balance, mainly to Rangers, some caster adjustments, a little bit of a few hero tweaks, and some card stuff. So basically right here, this is the introduction. We'll go over this, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of some skins, some cards, some card stuff, and then some of the hero balances here. So that's kind of the general overview, and just so you know kind of at what point of the video we're going to talk about what. So basically, they're changing the way that Rampage is working. His ultimate is being tweaked. We'll talk more about that in the when we go over that in the section below. They're changing the health of Rangers down and changing the offensive cards and rebalancing that. They're intending to make Rangers have a little bit more investment in the early game, really being careful with how they're going to deal their damage and how much they're going to commit to things, so that they can actually survive to when they actually will deal a great amount of damage in the late game. I don't agree with their approach where certain classes are stronger at certain parts of the game, but that's just how it is so far. They're changing the basic attack damage of casters. We'll see that later on, and they are changing a big bunch of cards as well as some interesting changes here. So we will get that eventually. So here are some of the little bit of nitty-gritty things. Cleave damage will no longer cause towers and inhibitors to target the attacker. Interesting in that, you know, you didn't intend to attack the tower, but your cleave does. I think it's a good change so that you can, you know, attack you can really, you know, you aren't penalized for the decision that you make. Am I going to attack these minions and kill them and not get attacked by the tower, or I'm going to attack the tower and do that? So sorry, you know, and there happens to be a hero nearby. No, this is a good change. Makes your choice much more just impactful, much more rewarding there. So we got some new skins. That is a awesome Grin skin. Look at that. Very, very awesome indeed. The Murdoch skin, I like that. Very intimidating. I get the sense that I'll be pwned by quite a few Murdochs with this skin, and I absolutely love this skin for Howitzer. What a good skin. Oh, it's just, I don't know, it speaks to my futuristic tech nature. I love it. That is a fantastic skin. So they fixed various issues around Agora, and this is interesting, increased the movement speed of jungle minions to prevent kiting. I got a little bit of a sense of that in a few of the jungling videos I've done recently, so it's good to see that they've done that. I don't think kiting is really a necessary mechanic for the jungle. I think it's just, you just kill them. Spend the time, kill them, there you go. So that's how that is. Here are the big stat changes, ladies and gentlemen. They have reduced the value of damage cards from a baseline of 7.5 to 6.5. So something like the Staff of the Adamant. 7.5 energy damage, health energy damage as the whatever. So that 7.5 that used to be as a primary stat is now 6.5. So everything that used to have 7.5 physical damage or any damage on it will now be 6.5. Reduce the value of attack speed cards from baseline of 6.5 to 5.5. Again, reducing that back. And here is the, you know, almost 50% reduction in lifesteal from baseline of 0.04 to 0.025 per point. So every point of lifesteal you get That is how much. I'm not sure exactly how that works mathematically, but it's been reduced by almost half. So there you go. This is huge. All damage builds have been very, very successful, have been a little too prevalent, I find. There's not much build diversity. The game is too volatile. So making this change, I think, is a change in the right direction. You want people to experiment with, being a damage dealer, but being very tanky and having that influence in there, and creating unique team compositions around a whole bunch of tanky damage dealers. You want options to be available and making the game less volatile, and incentivizing people going other than just damage and lifesteal to stay alive. That is a good move. Hopefully this doesn't impact the game length, however, too much. Like, if you're going to reduce the damage, then you're going to have to make sure that engagements are still relevant and dealing damage to minions and siege. And siege damage isn't affected too much. So there you go. Here are the weekly card packs. I won't really cover that too much. There are a whole bunch, ladies and gentlemen, of card changes. Some big ones here that I saw. This Shockwave was apparently quite a unique card here. You can look at that up, but a few here that I've been using that I kind of care about is this Stalker's Key, the Bounty Stalker, the Beastmaster's Key, and this Madspore Sash. These were cards that you equipped, and they dealt a damage aura around you. So now they both deal energy damage instead of just physical damage. Adjusted damage value to 15 plus the player level, so it stacks with you as you level up. Passive damage auras do not stack, so you can't have both of them on at the same time. And the damage aura is not active during auto sprint, which makes sense. You can just be zooming around the map, dealing damage to everybody that's you're kind of running around. So that makes sense. The next one that I kind of care about here, maybe I should be caring more about other ones, but which don't really. The Bounty Stalker is one that I use in a lot of my builds. Increase the cost from 4 to 6. Very interesting. Now only grants critical chance stacks if you hit an enemy hero. So not on minions or anything. Interesting. Increase max stats from 4 to 10. What? Increase buff duration from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. That is incredible. The amount of times when I've just been a split second away from, keeping the stacks. That is huge. Whoa, to 10? You can have a 30% critical chance from just this card alone, but only on heroes, and it has been increased. Wow. Okay, so for this, that means that I'm going to be using it much more as just a filler card that's, you're not going to upgrade, maybe perhaps very much. And with this and this is going to mean that you're going to be incentivized more to use it as a team fighting mechanic or a solo, 1v1 mechanic, where you're attacking enemy heroes very quickly. So high attack speed build is going to use this much better than any other builds. Wow, that's a big change. I'm going to make this one much more relevant, I think, in the upcoming meta. So I think there's not much changes here. Yeah, so some HUD and UI changes. Okay, so here are the big changes to the heroes and the balance part of it. So the Rangers, they've reduced their base health from 400 to 380 and reduced their base HP per level from 100 to 85. So they're going to be weaker in the end game, and they start less health. I like this. They certainly do seem very, very, very powerful. They're pretty damn squishy in the early game already. So, I mean, this, I think, is going to just make them a little bit, more cautious, and it'll be harder for them to get that power in the mid game. I think it will kind of balance. I think this will balance them out, just that little bit, especially with the changes here to these cards. That'll help in the late game reduce their damage as well a little bit. And I think combine these two changes, I think that is a good thing. Caster balance changes increase basic attack damage per level from 1 to 3. I just did a whole bunch of howitzer videos, a couple Grim videos. You really need that basic attack damage in the early game. So I would rather have seen just a flat increase in their basic attack damage in the early game. Maybe perhaps kept their scaling low because, I mean, they are abilities. They are ability driven. They're casters after all. So I would rather have seen that, but maybe perhaps I'm missing something here. So very, very interesting. Added a lock-on option for heroes that are using targeting modules. Very nice indeed, because it's absolutely frustrating to use it on the right target, to use it on the right friendly player, and just like it's frustrating. So that is a very nice option. We'll have to see how that works. Added hero reactions when taking damage. Maybe that's, I don't know. I think they already make sounds and stuff, but we'll have to see what this exactly means. That'll just help with the immersion and the game. Just how satisfying the game is. So let's see, let's go through these characters. So Rocket Boots now receive a status effect icon. That is very nice. It is fairly obvious when you do get that bonus, but that is a nice, now reveals enemies within shadow pads. That, yeah, just a little bug, I would think. Sticky Mine, Cancer, okay. No, can no longer be cancelled. Gideon, Black Hole, adjust tooltip to reflect recent changes to the ability. That's very nice. In general, it's kind of hard to tell exactly how things have been affected, so I kind of like that. Some little bug fixed stuff. Greystone, yeah, some little things here. So Grim, Displacement Blast turned off the range indicator. Okay, I just played a whole bunch and I didn't see a ranged indicator, so okay, I mean it's a lobbed ability anyways. So Deflector Shield now blocks Iggy and Scorch's Oil from being applied. That would make sense. It is an ability. GTFO can no longer be targeted on enemies that are not within direct line of sight. That is huge. I think that will help a lot. Actually, just in the second last Grim video I just did, I was taken out by a Grim that had vision of me, but I was hiding behind terrain, so that makes sense. That makes sense. I really, really like that indeed. So there you go. Grux extended the stun duration from 0.125 seconds to 0.75 seconds to prevent bad ability interactions. Bad ability interactions. Not sure exactly what that is. To prevent bad ability interactions. So, I mean, I think this means that when you are pulled to Grux, when you land, I believe that you will be stunned for longer. Maybe perhaps there is some abilities being channeled or used and not interrupted when you were being pulled and stuff like that. So I think that is just going to help. But that's going to actually help him really, really secure the kills and actually get around the, help just keep the person stationary for him to do his job. Howitzer R2000 missile no longer reduces the cooldown if interrupted after firing. After firing? No longer reduces the cooldown if interrupted after firing. Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, so you definitely don't want that. Begin Scorch, or remain on for the entire duration even after death. That's a good bug fix. Chimera, reduce cooldown from 20, 19, 18, 17 to 17, 16, 15, 14. Interesting. So helps him re-engage a little bit. That's going to be actually pretty huge in a team fight. If you engage off the side on a on the back line, and then if you're in the end game, I think 3 seconds is going to be a fairly big change here. Maybe if you get a little bit of cooldown, probably not. That will probably have an effect. So that is interesting. His call was increased dramatically. I did actually, yeah. To be honest, yeah. His call kind of did not that much damage. I guess I would say that I would expect it to do a little bit more. So here they've increased it by almost 50%, 50%, and basically 50%. So almost a complete 50% upgrade there. Very interesting. I think that is appropriate. I would like that. He's pretty damn strong at the moment. A lot of good Chimera players I've come up against. Few okay ones, but that's going to be strong. So very interesting indeed. Reduced card scaling of call. So here you go. That's why. So they're increasing the base damage by 50%, but they're reducing how much cards affect the ability also by, well, 33%. So by a third here to 1. So we'll have to see how this actually turns out. Because, okay. Yeah, so it's going to affect the ultimate more in the early game, which actually I found that it didn't do really that much damage at all in the early game. So I think that this is a very good move here. So I like that. Murdoch, they've changed. Devastating Blast, renamed to Long Arm of the Law, now correctly ignores the energy armor of an enemy rather than the flat 100 energy armor previously. That is his shotgun or something. Is cool. Yeah. Cool. I came up against a Murdoch, and his Devastating Blast was really, really hurtful. It did quite a bit of damage. Rampage, this is the big change here. Reduces his health regen in the early game by half, his health regen in the mid game by about a third, and in the late game about a quarter. About a fifth, actually. So, so in the early game, when it is harder to deal damage, people aren't doing as much damage as the late game, it will be easier to deal with him, but in the late game, he will fulfill his role as a good tank. Reduce the duration from 15 seconds, which was eons, it seemed, to 12 seconds. Very good change there, I would agree. So Richter not being able to cast, nothing for Sparrow, nothing for Steel, and Twin Blast, the other big change here, reduce the duration from 6, 7, 8, 9 to 4 seconds at all levels. I completely agree with this choice. I don't remember the duration increasing 9 seconds in the late game. For all of that increased attack speed, that's pretty ridiculous. So I actually really like this flat 4 seconds. I thought it was a flat 6 seconds, I believe, but 4, it seems very much more appropriate, and reduce the cooldown, though, from 20 seconds to 18 seconds. Okay, so I like that. I think this is a much more appropriate ability for him to use. You just want 4 seconds of, boom, I'm going to really burst this person down for 4 seconds, not 9, and just completely dominate the entire team fight. I like this much more of a scalpel ability. I'm going to attack this person quickly for 4 seconds, really get this hero down, maybe get that little bit of an advantage in the team fight on that one hero that we really need to get killed. There you go. I very much like that indeed. There you go. So a little bit of bug fixes, and that is it. Very interesting patch, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to hopefully bring everybody back into kind of, a more harmonious state of balance. Rangers have been doing, well, basically just, Twin Blast has been really a go-to character. He's been in way too many games, and he's just really, really too strong. Hopefully this helps casters especially really get going in the early game. I was finding it quite hard for Grim especially. Who else? Yeah, Iggy and Scorch. Iggy and Scorch are not that bad because he has his turrets to really help with those last hits. But hopefully this really, really helps the game indeed. I am really excited, ladies and gentlemen, for this patch. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you share some of my opinions, some of my approaches here on the changes to the classes? Let me know what you think. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you want some more changes? What have they completely missed? Let me know down in the comments. Please like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Please share it with the community, and of course, subscribe. I have lots of content coming. Do this almost every day. I hope you learned something. So until next time, like always, take care.